Hello, this is Haneen, the Accountability Officer in INTERSOS Jordan. In this video, I will show you how to access and use the Complaints Mechanism platform to add and process new complaints or feedback received. As we see here, we have three types of authorized access to the Complaints platform, which are the data entry, the platform manager, and the escalation manager or the head of mission. Please keep in mind that the data entry and the escalation manager accounts are added and managed by the platform manager. In this video, we'll explore the three accounts and we will see what kind of actions can be performed by each in details. Firstly, let us explore the data entry. So we access as data entry, sign in with Google. Now I have to select an email that was added by the platform manager. This email must has an access as data entry to the complaints platform. So this one, it was added by me because I have a platform manager account. So this page will appear to us with a sample content as we see here. And as we notice, we can only add a new complaint or feedback and explore the entered data or cases we added as a data entry. So if you want to add a new case, we click on this button. And as we see here, we have optional and mandatory fields marked with a star. After we fill all necessary data relating to the complaint or the complainant or the feedback provider, we click on submit. And then the case should be listed in the complaint or the feedback list here. Later on, when I explore the platform manager account, I will demonstrate to you how to add the new case and the kind of information needed to be filled in details. So now I go back to the home page. I will access as platform manager and again sign in with Google. Now I will select my email, accountability to Jordan. I have an access as platform manager. I am a platform manager. So we continue to the platform with my email. And as you see here, the platform manager can do several actions. For example, I can explore the complaints list. I can also add new cases. I can manage both data entry and escalation manager accounts. I can edit governors as well, or the places of intervention for INTERSOS and Jordan. And if we look at this table, we can see that we have two databases or two offices, 42 Jordan, 42 Jordan Old. Currently, in the accountability, we are working on this database. So, first of all, let me show you how to add a new case. We go to this action, the complaints list. So on this page, we have some interesting features. We have some charts and graphs that report or summarize the data entered the last 12 weeks. For example, this line graph, it illustrates the complaints by the status of the case, if it's in progress or total or closed, the total of closed cases. This one, it demonstrates the complaint category, if it's request for information or assistance or dissatisfaction with the assistance, and other interesting graphs. And here we have the list or the table of all the entered cases, either by data entries or by the platform manager. So now we click on add complaint to add a new case. And as shown here, we have the same fields appear to us when we access as data entry. Now I'll show you an example. Here it is a mandatory field, so I have to select 42 Jordan, for example, which is the database we are working on, the governorate Amman, the name of complainant, um, Khaled, Ahmad, then the address, Amman, Tuwailah, and here we can write the ID number. All this information are an example, so they do not belong to any person or any beneficiary. So I write an example here, 165, 13C, 5 zeros, then 079, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here we select the gender, male, the age as 34, then the feedback type. For example, it is feedback. Here we define by whom this complaint or feedback was provided or submitted via the CRFM or any of INTERSOS staff members. Here I will select the complainant or the feedback provider, him or herself. Here we have the reporting mechanism. As we see here, we have several reporting mechanisms. I will select the hotline because it's widely used by beneficiaries and people in Jordan. The complaint category, we have 7 categories as per SOPs. For example, I will select request for assistance, then the date of receiving this complaint is today. Here we can write description that describes, let's say, the needs and the kind of support which was submitted by the complainant or the feedback provider. So now I will write an example. The caller is a vulnerable woman or head of household woman with 5 kids. She faces eviction next week and she asks for financial assistance as well as protection. If you want, you can add more details or more data. Then the status of the case, and we have to take into consideration if the case needs more processing, more follow-up. So we have to define it as in progress. And here we allocate the date or the deadline to close the case, depending on the sensitivity of the case and the urgency. So the 1st of April, then the sector. So I referred for basic needs, the urgency, high. Then we click submit to save all the data entered. And as we see here, this message appears to us, form successful submitted. If you want to check if the case was listed, we go back to the complaints list and we'll find it here in the first row. Khalid Ahmad, and all the data was saved. Now, because it is a case that needs a processing, that needs support, I will escalate this case for the escalation manager, the one involved or the project involved. So here we can manage escalation and follow up. And as we see here, we have the complaint info, we have the escalation section, and here we can find like important data relating to the complaint or the feedback or the request. And here we have to select at least one manager. We can select two. For example, I will select John, Program Manager, and I can write a simple email or more details. Mm. Here we can select for whom this email must be sent. For example, I wanted to reach the escalation manager 1. If I wanted to reach the manager 2, I simply click on this box. And finally, we do submit, and the form successfully submitted. Okay, if we want to make sure that this case was escalated to the escalation manager, we go back to the complaints list. As we see here, escalated on the 26th of March to program manager 1, sorry, the manager 1, the program manager, John. Now I'll show you what can the escalation manager do in this case. How can the escalation manager follow up the case on the platform? As we see here, the escalation manager will receive a notification email. And as shown, let's access the email firstly. Okay. As shown here, the email consists of the complaint details, the ID number, the closing of the complaint deadline, the urgency as well. It also includes the email sent by the platform manager, which is Dear Project Manager. Okay, and then the follow-up steps, the link to access the platform, and the steps after resolving the issue, the closing step. Okay, so now we click on the link to open the platform website. We will access Escalation Manager. Again, sign in with Google. And we select an email of the Escalation Manager, which is, where is that? Yes, Program Manager INTERSOS. And please notice that all these emails are fake. They were created by me for illustrating how to use the complaints mechanism platform, excepting of my email, which is the platform manager. Okay, and now all the cases were escalated to the program manager will be listed here. this table. And for example, this is the case of Khalid Ahmed. To manage follow-up, to add follow-up note, we click here. And as we see here, the escalation manager can add private follow-up note, which is not visible to the platform manager. He can also add public note. The public note will be visible to the platform manager. For example, the case was referred for man protection officer for further assessment. Now, if we have any attachment, we can add it here. And then, if you want the case to be, or the follow-up to be sent to the INTERSOS headquarters, we click on yes. If not, we click no. Then the date of follow-up, for example, it is today. Then we click submit. Okay, now we will see how the follow-up appears on the platform manager page. So we go back to the home page. We will again access as platform manager and sign in with Google. I sign with my email. Okay, and again the complaints list in the first database. Okay, this is the case of Khalid Ahmad. It was escalated for John, the program manager. We have one follow-up, and this is the number of follow-ups received for the case. And now if we want to read the follow-up note, we click on manage escalation and follow-up. And here below, we have this follow-up note that was submitted on this date and by the John program manager. The case was referred to a man protection officer for further assessment. Okay. So as a platform manager, this way I check on follow-up notes that was created by the escalation manager, and that's how I can follow up on cases, on processing and the assessment of the cases. As I mentioned before, the platform manager can manage data entry accounts. For example, I can add new accounts, I can change account status from active to inactive or pending approval. I can edit users' information, the name, position, or email. So to show you all these actions, I go back to the platform manager. If I want to manage data entry accounts, I click on this option. If I want to add a new data entry account, I enter the first and last name, then the email and the position. All these are obligatory fields. After we submit, the account must be listed below here in this table. Okay, if you want to change the user status, we click on the status, then we select the one. We can also change the name or the position. Okay, same way, I can manage the escalation manager's account. So I go back to the platform manager page, and here manage escalation manager accounts. And again, I have to enter all these important data and then the office and submit. And finally, the account must appear below on this table. Another action, finally, the platform manager can do, which is editing governorates or placing of interventions where we have beneficiaries. For example, governorate name, I can add Airbed. Then I click submit. I can also edit any of these governorates. So I click on delete. And this way, we manage data entry accounts, escalation manager accounts, as well as the governorates or places of intervention. That's all about the complaints mechanism platform. Thanks for watching this video. And if you need any question, please do not hesitate to ask the mail Team Jordan. Thanks for watching again.